Hello and welcome to the Voice of TOD. I'm Tom, and with this video, the first one of today, we're catching up on a story that dropped yesterday that I saw, I just didn't get around to. So I thought we'd take a look at it now. We're going to be talking about the IO studio interview with the studio director about the 007 game that's coming. But before we get into it, if you enjoy this video or any of my other content, please do subscribe, hit the like button, show some love. Let me know what you think in the comments as well. I'd love talking to you guys. The support has been fantastic. This is a very new channel. I am having a lot of fun with it. I'm really enjoying what I'm doing. I hope you guys are too, and I would love to hear from you. Let's talk about the fun stuff. IO studio director says its Bond game could be a trilogy. Interestingly enough, in this story, that's not the big point that I would have picked out. Anyway, we'll continue. We're here on PC Gamer. A link will be down below, so you can check out the article for yourself. But developer has plans to more than double in size during the project's development. And we get the image for Project 007 that was announced a couple of weeks ago. Quite an interesting announcement, I have to say. Little is known about IO Interactive's recently announced James Bond game, beyond the fact that the studio will be a great fit and it's years away. But in a new interview with Danish website DR, studio director Hakan Abrak has dropped some crumbs. First of all, by teasing the game could be a trilogy, which is no great surprise. I would actually think that that could be a surprise. There's three things in here that I think are great for the studio. A trilogy would be, we'll have to wait and see. I like that they're gearing up for it, but okay. The quote here from Abrak. "We have been allowed to make our own digital Bond, which will not lean on any Bond actor. We've also come up with a completely original story, and you could easily imagine that a trilogy could come out of it." That's the key thing, I think, here. They have been allowed to make their own Bond. This isn't a tie-in to any of the films. We don't even have a new James Bond yet. We haven't had a new Bond film for years. It keeps getting delayed. So they're allowed to make their own little part of the Bond universe. I think that's fascinating. That's what I would have led with, because that's huge. They can create a character in their world, in their style. Slap the Bond license on it, it'll sell millions. Hopefully. Abrak talks about the convoluted process of acquiring the rights to such a mega franchise, which in this case involved convincing Barbara Broccoli and Eon Productions of the studio's suitability for the task. Apparently Miss Broccoli believed previous games weren't worthy enough and had too much violence for violence sake. I can agree with that statement. I haven't played any of the Daniel Craig Bond games, but they've all been pretty lackluster outside of GoldenEye, and that's been remade far too many times for it to be the gem that it used to be in my head. Our background with the Hitman universe and our vision for what Bond is in a game format went straight to the heart of Barbara Broccoli, says Abrak. This is kind of interesting in as such as it's slotting this 007 game pretty neatly into the Hitman archetype, a game that definitely features violence, as do the Bond movies, not continuously. The scale of this project will be the biggest in IO's history, judging by the plans the studio has to double in size over the development. Today, we are 200 employees, and I expect that we will be over 400 employees over the next few years, says Abrak. So there is no doubt that the Bond agreement means an insane amount to us. It's very, very special. A boy's dream. Sometimes, it's still a little hard to understand that we're making James Bond. There is a link there to the full interview from the Danish website if you want to check that out. I won't be going any further with this. I think there's quite a bit to unpack there. It's clear that it means a lot. They obviously have plans to put so much into this. The idea of a trilogy ties into that, and I love the ambition of these guys. IO have done, the acclaim for the Hitman games isn't because it's Hitman. It's because they've made amazing games. I personally am not a fan. I would like to pick up Hitman 3. I think I've played 5 minutes of Hitman 2 and gave it up though, because I am terrible at stealth. I am so bad. It takes me so long to get into the mindset. Me playing Hitman is like playing Dark Souls. I just don't understand it. But, and this was my worry when they first announced it, and I think that they are an amazing fit for the Bond idea, the spy. Hopefully it will be very story focused, it will be a bit more cinematic. If it stays true to the roots of the Hitman franchise, this could be fantastic. My worry is that this won't be for me. I'm not the biggest Bond fan anymore, I used to be as a kid, but I think that we're in a situation, if it goes too stealthy, it could not appeal to the wider audience. But judging by the numbers of Hitman 3, it's done very well, so my concerns are probably more of my own than anything else. I'm excited to see what these guys do. I think these guys, they're one of the shining lights of game development. They put the time in, they do what they want to do, they do it with love and care, and it's clear to see in every pixel when you play the game. I do need to play the Hitman games, I know I do. I just need to be in the right mindset for it. But I think this is great. Obviously the game isn't coming out anytime soon, but the idea that they're working on their own story with their own Bond, I think is huge. Because it doesn't tie you into any time frame. You could do Bond at the start of his career. You could do Bond as a highly experienced and lethally trained agent who has learned his craft. More like the films used to be in the 80s and the 90s, where it wasn't quite as raw as the Daniel Craig films are. And you could bring in elements of humour. It depends how far you want to go. You can make it realistic, like the more recent films, or you can go tongue-in-cheek, British suaveness, the Roger Moore era. There's so much that you could do. There's so much inspiration in the Bond books as well. They have so much to work with. I can't wait to hear more. I am tentatively looking forward to this, but I am aware this might not be for me. But anyway, that's the video, that's the first one for today. I do have my Expanse review coming out for the latest episode. I watched it at 1 o'clock this morning. I need to watch it again, get the script written, and we'll get that out today. That will probably be later on this afternoon. So come back for that if you are interested in the Expanse and you are caught up. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.